Welcome to Bigin's 30-minute setup promise. In this video, we will help you set up your Bigin account in under 30 minutes. Here's what we're going to do. Add basic information about the organization. Create pipelines. Add custom fields. Create roles and profiles. Add a user. Integrate email. Set up telephony. Import data, and create our first deal. So let's get started. Go to zoho.com/bigin and sign up for the trial. In the pop-up, enter the basic details about your organization. The currency you specify here will be used to show deal amounts and other currency fields. If you want to modify this information again later, you can always do it from the settings. Once you've filled in the details, click Explore Bigin. Welcome aboard! On your left, you will find the modules where you will store and manage data, but more on that later. Let's set up the pipeline first, and then I'll show you around. What is a pipeline? A pipeline is a sequence of stages that a sales opportunity needs to go through to convert a prospect into a customer. For example, a real estate salesperson would create the following sequence of stages in his pipeline to convert a prospective buyer into a customer: new inquiry, site visit, negotiation, attorney review, paperwork, and closed won or closed lost. Pipeline is the core of your sales process. You need to capture all of the steps involved in converting a sales opportunity as stages in the pipeline. Your account comes with a default standard pipeline, and you can edit it to modify the stages. Go to Settings, Pipelines and Stages, then click the Edit icon. Rename the pipeline as per your business needs. In this case, let's rename it as Sales. You can add, remove, rename, and rearrange the stages sequentially. Closed won and closed lost are default stages, and they cannot be altered. Click Save. You can create different pipelines for different types of deals in your organization. For instance, you can create a different pipeline for different products that you sell. To create a new pipeline, click Add New Pipeline. Enter the name of the pipeline as Service Request. Enter the stages, then click Save. Next, let's add custom fields. But before we go there, let me take you through the screen tour of the Record Details page. On your left, you can see contacts, accounts, deals, etc. We call these as modules. They let you categorize and keep track of various aspects of your business, such as contacts, companies, and deals. The data that's present in these modules are classified as records, and the information within a record is captured using fields. Let's take a look at the Contacts module. This is a sample record that is already there in the Bigin account. The information about this contact, like name, email address, phone number, etc., are called as fields. What you see here are the default fields in the Contacts module. In addition to this, you can create your own fields as per your business needs. That is where the custom fields come into picture. As an example, let's create a field to store the customer ID details in the Contacts module. Go to Settings, Fields, then click the Contacts tab. Click Add Custom Field. In the Create Custom Field pop-up, specify the field name as Customer ID and choose Numerical as the field type from the drop-down list. Select the Mandatory Field box if you want to make this field as a mandatory one. By selecting the Do Not Allow Duplicates box, you can restrict creating another contact with the same customer ID, thereby eliminating duplicates. Since customer ID is a personal information, you can select the Encrypt field box so that the data is converted into cipher or non-readable text that is accessible only to the authorized parties. Click Save. Similarly, you can customize the other modules by adding the fields that you need. Next, let's head over to the Users and Controls. When you invite a user to Bigin, you will be asked to assign a role and a profile to them. Organizations and teams follow a hierarchical arrangement of the line of authority where employees are categorized based on their roles, like CEO, manager, sales rep, etc. Roles help you replicate the arrangement in your Bigin account. Users at a higher level in the hierarchy can always access all of the records of a user at a lower level in the hierarchy, but not vice versa. To create or modify roles, go to Settings, Users and Controls. In the Roles tab, you will find two default roles, CEO and Manager. Let's rename the Manager as Sales Manager. Click the Edit icon, then enter the name as Sales Manager. Next, let's create a role, Sales Representative. Click the Add New Role button. In the New Role page, enter the role name as Sales Rep. Select the Sales Manager from the Reports To drop-down list. Enable the checkbox to allow users in the same role to view each other's data. For instance, if there are multiple users who are assigned to the Sales Rep role, then all sales reps can view each other's data. Now, according to this hierarchy, a sales manager can access the sales rep's records, whereas the sales reps are limited to access only their records and the records of other users in the sales rep role. Let's look at profiles now. With profiles, you can define permission that lets you control who can perform what actions in your Bigin account. For instance, the sales manager performs managerial activities like importing and exporting data, creating workflows, inviting users, etc. So, the managers need access to those features that let them perform admin operations, whereas a sales rep doesn't need them as their activities inside Bigin are limited to non-admin operations, like sending emails, making phone calls, and closing deals. So, we can create two profiles with different levels of permission and assign them to users when we invite them. Bigin already comes with the administrator and standard profiles. To create a custom profile, go to Setup, Users and Control, and choose the Profiles tab. Then click New Profile. In the Create New Profile page, do the following. Enter the profile name as Sales Rep. Choose the profile that you would like to clone in the Clone From drop-down list. In this case, let's choose Standard. By doing so, you are cloning the profile permissions of the standard profile, as it's easier to modify cloned permissions rather than creating one from scratch. Set the permissions. Say you want to restrict the permission access of workflows. You can choose Disable Workflows. Now, the reps cannot access workflow rules. Now that we've seen how to create roles and profiles, it's important to know the differences between them. While roles let you define data visibility based on the hierarchy, profiles let you control who has access to what features. Now let's invite some users. Go to Setup, Users and Control, and choose the Users tab. Click Add New User. In the Add New User window, enter the name and email address. Choose the role and the profile from the drop-down list. Click Invite User. Now an invitation email will be sent to the user. We would suggest you to ask the user to check their spam folder just in case the email doesn't land in their inbox. The user will be added to your Bigin account once the invite is accepted. Emails are a popular communication method preferred by many businesses. You can configure your IMAP account with Bigin. This allows you to send email, view interactions with the contact from Bigin itself, without the need to switch between your email app and Bigin. Let's see how you can configure your Gmail account. Go to Settings, Channel, Email. Choose Gmail, then enter the email and password. The server details are filled out automatically. Choose either public or private under email sharing permission. By choosing public, your email correspondence with a contact will be seen by other users in the organization who have also configured their email. Now click Save. Furthermore, you can also set up your organization's email address from here as well. When a person from the sales team wants to send emails, they may prefer to use the email address that represents their organization rather than their own, something like sales@zilker.com or support@zilker.com. Let's add one now. Click New Email Address button. In the Add Email Address pop-up, do the following. Enter the display name, enter the email address. Specify who can use this address from the drop-down list. Click Create. The email address is added, but you need to confirm it before using it. Click the option here to receive an OTP in the email and confirm. Once you have added your organization's email address, you can start using them in the From and Reply To fields in the email composition. Here is a bonus tip. If you want to get real-time notifications whenever your contact has opened, clicked, or replied to your email, you can turn on Email Insights from the email settings. Additionally, make sure you have turned on the appropriate notifications from the Signals preferences. Apart from emails, telephony is another primary communication channel used by sales teams. When it comes to setting up your phone in Bigin, we provide two options. If you already have phone numbers from PBX providers like RingCentral, TELUS, etc., you can integrate those numbers into Bigin from the list of providers in the marketplace. Or, if you're starting fresh with telephony, you can use our built-in soft phone. With the built-in option, you can purchase phone numbers and route incoming calls to users in your organization. Users can make and receive calls inside Bigin effortlessly, and all of the calls will be logged inside the Activities module. To set up the built-in smartphone, go to Setup, Channels, Phone. Click Set Up Now. Under the phone settings, click Buy a Number to purchase local and toll-free numbers. In the Buy a Number pop-up, select the country, number type, and choose a number from the options available. Now click Buy. The cost of purchasing numbers varies based on the country and the number type that you choose. Your usage cost depends on this as well. We would recommend you to recharge your phone credits in Bigin periodically to ensure continuity in phone service. Once you've set up the billing details, you're all set. Furthermore, you can assign a number for the outgoing calls and also define what needs to be done when an incoming call is received. Either configure an IVR menu or associate users to attend the call. With that, you're all set to start using the softphone. Now on to the important part, adding data into your Bigin account. It's always a best practice to add data to your account after you customize it. So make sure that you have added all of the required fields to store information before you import data. We will show you the process of importing contacts from a spreadsheet. Go to Contacts, click the drop-down button next to Add Contact, and select Import. Importing records involves 4 stages. First, upload the file. Ensure that the file is in the supported format. Do not leave any mandatory fields blank, and make sure that the first row of the spreadsheet in the source file contains the column headings or field names rather than the actual data values, as this helps identify the data when you map the new data to the existing fields in Bigin. Second, choose what you want to do with the records in the file. Add as a new contact, update existing contacts, or do both. In this case, let's choose Add as New Contact. Third, map the fields from your file to the fields in the Bigin account. Make sure that you have mapped all of the mandatory fields in Bigin with the appropriate columns in your file. You can also see a sample preview of the data from your file by turning on the Sample Data from File option. And last, assign owners to the imported records and add tags if required. Click Finish, and you will be notified once the import is complete. After that, you can see a detailed summary of the import from the Data Administration settings. You can also add records manually one by one. For instance, go to the Deals module and click the Add Deal button. Add the required information. You can choose the pipeline and the corresponding stage. You can also associate a contact to the deal. Then click Save. And we're done. We have set up a Bigin account in under 30 minutes. Thanks for watching, and if you need help, please reach out to us at support@bigin.com.